Welcome back to another episode of Misplaced Garage.
This here is my 1989 F-250. It is new to me, but it's certainly not a new truck. And this truck has a few issues, obviously one being that the engine doesn't run very well because there's a massive lower intake manifold gasket leak. So that's number one on the list basically to fix. It needs some suspension work and it needs a few other minor things. We're gonna find out what it actually takes to keep an old truck on the road.
1989 F-250 with a 5.8. It's got the automatic 3-speed, so the C6 transmission, I believe. Nothing crazy. This is a no-frills unit. And this truck is so big, I actually have to climb through it to get to the other side because my garage is only 20 feet long and this truck is about 19 feet long. So we're on the other side now. And as you can see, it's pretty darn cherry. Like, somebody clearly started polishing it and didn't get too far. It's got new-ish tires on it. Somebody put airbags in the rear suspension, so I also have that going for it. And you know, obviously it's a 2-wheel drive, unfortunately, but once again, have the other truck that's 4-wheel drive. I use that mainly for work and stuff, but not a huge deal there. I'm gonna go ahead and start pressing out the ball joints and stuff because that's pretty high on the list. Got parts coming, ball joints are coming first, so may as well knock that out. Well, I guess my 2-ton jack stands are no longer cutting it. We got some 6 tons, and I should be well within the working limit of these, 12,000 pounds. Also, I'm not sponsored by Harbor Freight, but you know, if somebody from Harbor Freight was watching, I would gladly accept a sponsorship. Thank goodness, whoever you are, put the spline tool in the glove box. If you don't do that, you're a crook. Always keep the spline tool or the wheel lock key in the gosh dang glove box. That's where it goes. Anyways, enough of that. Let's see if this will even take these off. So there's no actual like bolt that bolts the caliper onto the spindle. This is actually like a pin. This is a very interesting way to do it. I'm sure that there's somebody out there that's like, yeah, that's pretty standard or whatever. Comment down below if this is normal to you, but I'm used to bolts, so I think I can just pound these guys out and the caliper will come off, maybe. So now I might be way out of line here, but I took the cotter pin off, the nut protector or whatever this is. This probably just keeps it from spinning. But this is hand tight and something tells me that's supposed to be a little tighter than that. I'll definitely look at the manual for that. Guess it's about time to get these pressed out. This one looks funky. I don't actually really know what's happening here. So there's no threads on the top, which is interesting, but this one has in and out play, so this one's for sure shot. This one feels semi-okay, but I'm gonna replace it anyways. Different old school style, most of them press in and out. This looks like it has a keeper ring on it, so I'm gonna try to get that out. I think it still has to be pressed out that way, so we're gonna find out. Alrighty, day 2. We're back. I got all my parts now, or the majority of the parts now. Brake rotors, steering, suspension, everything like that for the front end. Basically a full rebuild of the front end. Alrighty, trying to get that back in was nearly impossible. I actually ended up cutting down one of my sockets. I wanted to use a torque wrench on the bottom one for sure. Probably could have just used my box end wrench, but for this one I just wanted to be careful, just in case. I will be towing with this truck. Day 3 now. I'm gonna go ahead, take out this driver front shock, replace that, along with all of the tie rods. I should be able to get to all the tie rods today and have that complete. Bada boom, one more done with a redneck length, doing the old tape measure trick, and this should be ready to go on now. Alrighty, got all of the tie rods and stuff torqued down. Everything is all to spec. If you're wondering what the fluid is on the ground, that's actually power steering fluid, because I guess I did not realize that if you turn the steering wheel on these trucks, it blows the cap off the power steering fluid reservoir and goes everywhere. Alrighty guys, back, another change of clothing. Day 4, I think. Sway bar time. Did not get to it last time. Yeah, sway bar end links, new bushings, all that good stuff. I'm actually just doing a sway bar delete. Alrighty, the new end links, the new bushings are on. I did paint part of both sides of the sway bar just because it was nice and rusty, so I took a wire wheel. I took a wire wheel to the outside of it and then just spray painted it a nice flat black, so then it looks a little better. We're back in the garage for another day. I got both sides of the spindle together and all the bearings and whatnot. That was an absolute nightmare trying to get bearings for it. But if you're looking for bearings for a two-wheel drive F250 bull, or not bull nose, but brick nose, these two bearings will fit. That's an inner and that's an outer. Obviously you need 2 per side. But yeah, it's been an absolute nightmare. I unfortunately ripped the dust boot on one side of this caliper. The other caliper is already on, but I need to get the brakes together so that I can lower the truck down and actually start working on the engine. But the rest of the stuff I have to do is all engine, and here's the big part of it, is the gasket kit. I just ordered the complete engine kit because it was like $5 more to get a whole bunch of extra gaskets that I may or may not need. But we're gonna go ahead and start tearing this engine apart. I pushed the truck back about 1/2 inch, so I have about 1/2 more inch up here to hopefully help me work on it. Alrighty, hammering away on this. Upper intake manifold came off pretty easy. I have my doubts about the lower intake manifold coming off easy, but we'll see. Hopefully it's not a nightmare. 2, that was very loose. There's 3. That's not feeling very nice. I don't think this is going to do anything, but we can hope. Give her a few taparoonskis. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It hasn't broken yet, but I don't like it at all. See what kind of magic we can do. I feel like something good is happening. Go down into the jacket. Get in there. gonna let that sit for a minute. All of the bolts actually came out and didn't break. I've actually got them over there in the ultrasonic cleaner to see if I can actually reuse them, but I think a couple of them might be too rusted to reuse. Alrighty, well I got the mating surfaces about as clean as I'm willing to get them, but I'm gonna go ahead and run a tap through all of the holes just to make sure we don't get any broken bolts on the reinstallation. I'm gonna start throwing the thermostat back into the intake here. It looks like one of the bolts already broke off into there, so that's not good, but I should be able to still get by without needing that end of it, as long as it doesn't bind up this side. But I might actually just add a washer to it, so then it spaces it slightly out. I've got the intake manifold basically ready to go on. I gotta start using some RTV to get them on there. I do RTV around the water jackets because of clearly how pitted it already is. I don't know why they don't recommend that in the first place, but I always do that. Okay, I got the fuel rail and stuff back on the top and plugged up all the holes. Now I'm going to work on the valve covers because both sides are leaking and they're also extremely dirty, so I may as well clean them and make the top of the engine look at least presentable. Yeah, get the valve covers off and hope the inside looks good. Okay, well I don't even know what day it is anymore, but I'm still working on the engine. Yesterday I got the valve covers off and I cleaned them up, and then I pretty much finished on that note. They're not perfect, but they're a lot cleaner than what they were. Plus they're also like chipping some paint too, so I kind of stopped at this point in time. Now it's time to clean the mating surfaces for the valve covers and get that ready for new gasket. Okay, well everything's going back together pretty good. Valve covers are on. Next thing I'm going to do is knock out the spark plugs because those are probably old and may as well replace them since I'm in here and I have plenty of room to do it. I've also got the throttle body over there in the taking a bath. Okay, well now I got it full with new oil, new coolant, and I believe I'm good to go. I actually unplugged the ignition coil just so I can turn over the engine for a little bit before I fire it up to get oil moving around. Started up pretty good. Nest. It's like day 7 or 8 or something like that. I need to get this thing on the road. This is taking forever. I ended up having to buy a new reman caliper for this side because when I was removing the piston to do a new seal, the piston shot out and basically shattered. I couldn't find a piston, but I could find a caliper. Caliper wasn't much more than replacing the piston. So here we are, new piston. These brake lines have been an absolute menace to replace. I did the other side already. There's this stupid little pin on the back side where you can't see it, So I ended up having to cut the old ones off, and that was a total pain in the butt. But we're getting through it. Pretty soon I'll be working on the back. Alrighty, she's back on the ground. Rear shocks are now changed, as you saw in that video. Bled the rear brakes. Unfortunately, the rear brake line, rubber line that I got didn't fit this, so that's quite annoying. Anyways, not a big deal. All the brakes are bled now, and we're ready to pull it out of the garage. But I gotta find some weight to put in the back end of the truck. I already have the tires aired down to like 10 PSI. It doesn't fit out the garage, so we gotta come up with something.
I just finished taking this truck on a 400-mile road trip with towing a camper and some weight in the bed, and it did phenomenal. And I'm very pleased with the end product of how it runs and drives and everything like that. It is a little slow towing a trailer, but other than that, I am extremely happy. Well, I'm going to leave this video here, guys. If you liked the video, please consider dropping a like, a comment, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. It's funny seeing these two here because this truck isn't even big by modern standards, but it's huge in comparison.